I have been getting absolutely cooked in my last video on why I think romance is better than shonen. Spoiler alert, that was clickbait. I love both a lot. I just happen to find myself watching more romance in recent times. Anyways, in spite of that, here are some reasons on why I think shonen is better than romance. In fact, let's take it a step further. This is why I think shonen is the best anime genre, period. Before we move on, let's define what shonen actually means. Shonen is a Japanese word that simply translates to young boy or something like that. So shonen as a genre is anime that's catered towards young adult / teen boys. This can be anything from action to romance to sports to cars to anything really. However, when people talk about shonen anime / manga, they're generally talking about battle shonen, which is your Narutos and your Bleachers and those fighting anime. So when I say shonen in this video, I'm referring specifically to battle shonen. Let's continue the video. One thing I really love about shonen is how it takes a simple dream and makes it feel like life or death. Luffy wants to be king of the pirates, Naruto wants to be Hokage, and Okarun just wants his balls back. To most people in their respective verses, these are just dreams that any kid says. Similar to how when we were kids and grown-ups would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? We'd say things like astronaut, president, scientist, knowing damn well these goals were just myths that no one really achieved. But that's where shonen anime comes in and really inspired me, especially as a little kid. All these different shonen MCs all have really grand and crazy dreams, but the difference is that they're constantly grinding for it. It doesn't matter if they grew up with no parents and an entire village that hates them, or if they weren't born with any magical abilities. They were constantly working towards that dream and not taking any excuse in. They really showed that they either make it or die trying. They showed us that no matter what life threw at them, they were the only ones who could determine their future. And for young me, even a now me, that's super inspiring. One of the most powerful things about shonen anime, especially the longer running series, is the way they create connection. Not just between characters, but between us and them. You spend literal years with these characters, watching them grow, struggle, laugh, fall apart, and grow even stronger. And somewhere along the way, it stops feeling like fiction. Like One Piece, for example. I started watching One Piece when I was 9 years old. I'm 22 now. I've been watching One Piece for more than half of my life. So when the Straw Hats finally reunited at Sabaody after the time skip, it didn't just feel like another episode. It really felt like I was seeing old friends that I haven't talked to in years. And in a way, that's exactly what it was. We, the audience, was separated from them too. And shonen gives you that sense of being a part of something, especially if you're real life like that growing up. Maybe you didn't have the perfect family. Maybe no one believed in you. Maybe you felt like you didn't belong anywhere. Shonen shows us that you can go on to build your own group of people and that only you can determine your future. These stories remind us that family and all these connections doesn't have to be blood. It can be forged in fire, in battles fought together, in shears shed together, and in training arcs and close calls. You earn it, that loyalty, that trust, and it gets tested over and over again, and each time it gets stronger and stronger. That's why these shows hit so hard, because it tells us what we all need to hear sometimes, that you're not alone and you matter. And even if you haven't found your people yet, they're out there. Again, I can't talk about shonen without talking about just how hype it is. And it's not just the super flashy animation that makes these fights so hype, it's the emotional weight behind them. Take Naruto versus Sasuke, not just their final fight, but the entire journey leading up to it. We watched them grow from teammates to bitter rivals to broken brothers. Every blow they trade isn't just about strength, it's pain, regret, love, in desperation. Like their final fight at the Valley of the End, it hurts because it meant something. It's not just hype for the sake of hype. It's a climax, years in the making. You, us, the viewer, earned that emotional release just as much as they did. And that's what Shonen does. It builds momentum through hardships, through endless training arcs, character deaths, and emotional breakdowns. So when a fight hits, it hits twice as hard, in the chest and in the gut. Compare that to something like Demon Slayer or Solo Leveling. They got amazing fights, crazy animation, and yeah, they're fun, super fun, but you're not watching because you're emotionally invested into Sung Jin-woo like you are with Naruto or Luffy. You're there for the hype moments. And that's okay too. It's just not the same. Shonen is at its best when the fights are more than just fights. It's at its best when they're used as a storytelling tool, when they resolve arcs, confront trauma, and solidify bonds. Whether it's Gon losing control in Hunter x Hunter or Luffy punching a celestial dragon, you feel the weight and satisfaction behind every punch. Shonen fights are built on a foundation of struggle, which makes every triumph feel like a victory, not just for the characters, but for us too. And while romance anime might help us reflect on life, Shonen is what helps us keep fighting through it. And that's it. That's my rebuttal to my own video on why I think romance is better than Shonen. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please subscribe. I keep saying it, but we are getting closer and closer to our 500 sub goal every week. Currently at 560. And yeah, thank yous to all of you who have been watching, to everyone who's been enjoying the anime content. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next week.